Hello, this is Top Stories on Viewer Television. I am Chinon Sochekwes, and the stories we're following this hour. President Bola Tinubu has approved the inauguration of a 37-man tripartite committee on national minimum wage with a mandate to recommend and look into the implementation of a new national minimum wage for the country. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, said this in a letter addressed to officials of the Nigeria Labour Congress. The letter, dated January 23, 2024, is titled Inauguration of the Tripartite Committee on National Minimum Wage. While the minimum wage was last reviewed in April of 2019 from 18,000 to 30,000 naira, Labour leaders in June 2023 urged the government to increase the wage from 30,000 naira to 200,000 naira to meet the current economic realities. Federal government's battle to stem inflation, exchange rate crisis is total, Information and National Orientation Minister Mohammed Idris said. Idris said the government was deploying the required measures, including devoting various ministries and agencies under its control to bring down rising inflation and stabilizing the foreign exchange market for the prosperity and comfort of all Nigerians. The minister, who gave the assurance in a statement issued in Abuja, also assured that all perpetrators of the resurgent violence and killings in Plateau State will be apprehended and prosecuted, especially as the government is currently facing the issue of security boldly. The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, has visited the families of victims of recent accidental airstrikes in Nasarawa State. The Nigerian Air Force aircraft accidentally bombed civilians during operations near Rukubi in Doma local government area on January 24th. A statement in Abuja by NAF's Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Vice Marshal Edward Gabweb, said Air Marshal Abubakar apologized to the victims and their families over the accidental bombing. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has alleged that governors of Nigeria's 36 states and ministers of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, have diverted 40 trillion naira meant for local government since 1999. The SERAP urged the governors and the current minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, Nyesom Wike, to disclose details of federal allocations meant for local governments since the return of democracy. The SERAP also appealed to them to promptly invite the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to investigate the actual disbursement and spending of federal allocations meant for local governments in your state and the FCT since May 1999. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has raised the alarm over the low demand for locally produced medical syringes. The agency said the nation's preference for importation was negatively impacting local manufacturing of the medical essentials. And NAFDAC was reacting to the discovery of over 1.5 billion unsold units of the product in one local factory alone. Its Director General, Professor Mojishola Adeyeye, noted that the situation was disappointing because the quality of facilities in Nigeria's pharmaceutical companies was at par with those in the United States or European countries. And the federal government has said one of its agencies, the Nigerian Data Protection Commission, NDPC, is investigating 17 major cases of data breaches and violations. The Commission's National Commissioner and Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Vincent Olatunji, announced this while addressing reporters at the Continental Hotels in Abuja as part of activities marking this year's Data Protection Week with the theme, Take Control of Your Data. Although he did not give details of the probe, Olatunji said it will spread across financial institutions such as banks, technology, education, consulting, lottery and gaming services, as well as logistics services, amongst others. According to him, over 1,000 complaints were received from concerned individuals and corporate bodies about data infractions. And the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, ASUP, has asked the federal government to pay its members the 35,000 naira wage award approved for public sector workers to avoid an industrial action. ASUP President Sharma Benja said polytechnic lecturers are angry and agitating due to economic hardship. Banja alleged that the government had only paid the 35,000 naira wage award once, despite saying the payment will run for 6 months. The government approved the payment of 35,000 naira to public servants to cushion the effect of the fuel subsidy removal last May. And manufacturers have predicted fresh hikes in the prices of commodities in the market to rise in response to the continued fall of the naira against the United States dollar. On Friday, the naira plunged to 1,420 naira to a dollar at the parallel window of the foreign exchange market. The president of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Francis Mishoye, told newsmen that the naira, which has now remained at over 1,400 naira in the parallel market for 2 days, will lead to price hikes in the economy. Meshoye predicted that these prices hikes were unlikely to resonate well with consumers whose spending power has been continuously depleted. And according to him, the frequent fluctuations in the forex market have made it difficult for manufacturers to make long-term plans. And the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, Sunday said it was ready for a negotiated solution after Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger quit the sub-regional body. The military juntas in the 3 countries had earlier yesterday, which was Sunday, announced their withdrawal from the ECOWAS with immediate effect. The 3 countries mulled a counterforce, which they called Alliance of Sahel States, against the regional bloc after the overthrow of the democratically elected government in Niger. The ECOWAS has suspended the 3 countries following coups d'etats. Mali was suspended in 2021 after 2 coups, Burkina Faso in 2022 and Niger in 2023. The ECOWAS, under the leadership of Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu, had threatened the military action if the Niger junta, led by General Abdurrahmani Tichani, refused to transfer power back to ousted President Mohamed Bazoum. The governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, said the battles against his reign as the state's chief executive have been fierce. He spoke at a special Thanksgiving service organized to celebrate his victory at the Supreme Court, which was held at St. Paul's Anglican Church, Opobo Town in Opobo Nkoro local government area of Rivers State. Governor Fubara said the battles against his administration may not be entirely over, but the distractions are being pushed aside because he is more focused on delivering the promise of good governance. And that's all on Top Stories. Many thanks for watching. I am Chinonso Chekwas. Please do stay tuned and enjoy the rest of our programs.